Hello everyone, welcome to this special video where I'm going to talk about a story that happened just a couple days ago with my spirit animal, my favorite animal, the black bear. Those of you who follow me know I call them Henrys. That's not their name, that's my name for black bear. So Henry could be a Tim or a John or a Sue, but they're all Henrys. Don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Just a long time ago, I just came to the conclusion that all black bears look like they would be named Henry. So I just started calling them all Henrys. And many of you are picking up on that as well. I love it. But I wanted to talk about a special situation that happened here a couple days ago. Very, very special. Touched my heart. Still touching me when I think about it. Hopefully I'll be able to hold the tears back because it was a great moment. One that you're blessed and lucky to get maybe once, maybe twice in a life, if at all. For me, at least. Not everybody would share my blessed thoughts on that. But first, let's start off by, this is May, the month of May. It's my birthday month. I turned 50 years old this month. This is the 9th, I believe. And I have had a heck of a month with bears. I normally get to see half a dozen to a dozen every year throughout my hikes. Here a couple days ago, I was summiting Black Mountain in Kentucky, which is right on the border of Virginia and Kentucky. It's the highest point of Kentucky. And I seen a couple out there in the forest getting close to the summit. I did not get my phone out in time to record that, but coming down from the mountain in the car, I was lucky to see a mom and her 2 cubs right next to me, just a couple feet away, hanging out on the tree, and mama watching to make sure no one was going to hurt her cubs. I was in the car the whole time. Only 2 cars in that whole 4 miles up and down, very windy road. Only 2 cars the whole time, and one was right in front of me at that moment and one was coming the other direction. I'd never seen another car, and obviously the bears are probably quite used to not seeing cars there either, and just kind of lollygagged across the street and didn't know quite what to do with all these cars going on. But it was a very cute moment, and the car in front of me and the car passing both did the right thing. I did the right thing by keep on moving, didn't get out of the car, didn't attempt to get out of the car and mess with the bears, just being in their natural habitat. It was a beautiful sight, though. And then as I was leaving, as I was actually got down from that mountain and traveled through, the next town is, believe it or not, called Appalachia, Virginia. So what a fitting name to all of a sudden see another Henry, a little baby, a little teenager, peeking over this little wall that was on a bridge going over a rushing river, and he was just kind of peeking over and looking down below. It's the cutest thing ever. Again, I didn't get my picture or get the camera in time to get a picture of that. I did stop, however, though. I turned around. I was in my car at that time, and I turned around and I went back. There was a parking lot about 1/10 of a mile back, and I got out to explore to see if I could see any more there at the river, and I didn't see any. But continuing on, that was a total of 6 bear in one day. And then that brings me to a couple days ago, in which number 7 made an appearance. Hence, or from this moment on, he or she shall be referred to as 7. That's her trail name because I seen her on a trail on a summit. So her name is 7. See, I said Henrys have a different name. Henry's just what I call black bears. But this was a very unique experience. I just decided to run up a mountain real quick. So I went to Montreat to Lookout Mountain, several miles from where I was. Just a quick trip out there though. And very, very steep but short. Basically 1,000 feet a mile, but it's not even a mile to get to the summit. From where you park. So my plan was to go up there, then hike and go over a couple others, and then come back down. Just a quick 4 or 5 mile to get the blood flowing in the legs. And as I'm going, I'm not really planning on doing any video or anything, But I get to, there's a certain rocky section, a little scramble, and then you make a corner, and then you go over some more scrambles, and that scramble is right before the summit. I decided at that moment I was going to shoot a video of just that last portion, just a nice little short video to show of walking up those rocks, turning a corner, and boom, there is the beautiful display from Lookout Rocks. So as I did that, I stopped. I had to get my phone out of my backpack. It was charging, and so I got that out. And as I was doing that, I heard some screams and some yells, and it sounded like either two ladies or a lady and a man. And I'm like, I bet that's a bear. And I bet they're yelling for the bear to get away. I couldn't tell what they were saying, but it sounded like that type of yell. It wasn't joking around, wasn't storytelling or anything like that. So I decided to get up there pretty quickly, because it was, like I said, not even a tenth of a mile from that spot, just a 30-second video clip or so, however long that would be at my pace, to get to the top. And I wanted to also make sure everybody was okay, whoever the yelling was, just in case it wasn't a bear and it was, God forbid, a human doing something. So I got up there real quick, and then I did my camera thing, and sure enough, there were two ladies up at the summit. And as I got up there, they said, "Did you see the bear?" And I said, "No, I did not see a bear, but I heard y'all yelling." So I kind of figured there might have been a bear. She goes, "Yeah, there's a bear, and it just took off and went down the trail going the other direction." So the other direction from that summit goes to the, that's Lookout Rocks. It's actually not the summit. You actually go another couple tenths of a mile, and then you're at the summit of Lookout Mountain, but there's no views. Lookout Rocks is where the views are from. So I'm up there, and in just a matter of a few seconds, I go to turn around, and sure enough, I see some movement. Now, so basically I'm coming up here, I'm here, right here is the summit, and then here's where the trail would continue. We're all standing right here. The bear came over here. Henry came over here, apparently, before I got up there. So I got up there, and I was just going to turn around and head back down or keep going. I hadn't decided completely. I figured I would keep on going. But I took my backpack off first because I needed something out of the pack. I don't remember what it was. I didn't have any food or anything with me this time. It was going to be a short little up and down, up a summit or two. And so that will come in handy for later on in this story. But as I turned around, I noticed, here comes Henry. Henry's coming back. It's like, I hear a new voice. Let's go check this guy out. And I swear that bear knew I was Fortune. He knew that he was my spirit animal, because we're all three standing here on these rocks, and he's coming this way, and he's coming right over to me. He wants to check out Fortune. He's like smelling away, keeps getting closer and closer and closer. And you can see from the video, he gets pretty close. I've been around a lot of bears. Most of them will run from you. Most of them, if you walk away, they don't even pay any mind. But this one was very inquisitive. Really wanted to check me out. Really wanted to see what it was all about. It was at this moment I kind of shifted a little bit. The two ladies that was there was up back here on the highest rock, which down below is the drop off at the cliff. So I stand in between where Henry is and where they are, because number one, I wanted to be able to be the first line of defense if the bear did try to charge or do anything. But also, not only, that's just a daddy mentality of me. It's not stupidity or anything like that. It's just who I am. I'm going to help protect as much as I can. But I also have a lot of experience around bears as well. And I have no idea who these two people were. I have no idea if they have any experience or anything. But I also had my trekking poles too. Even though they weren't in my hand at this moment, I still had my trekking poles. So I ended up getting this video clip, and then another video clip while I was up there. I was not putting myself in danger. So before everybody wants to go down that road, it's not my first rodeo. I'm experienced being around bear. I know what to look for. I know how to act. A lot of people think you just scream and yell and jump up and down and make noises. That doesn't always work. Sometimes they take that as a sign of aggression, and that's not always going to work. You want to be stern, and you want to be forceful. You want to let the bear know that no, you cannot come any closer. You need to turn around and go the other way. Now you'll have some people saying, "Well, maybe you should have turned around and went the other way." You got to understand where we were. cliff and rocks, nothing. Big drop off here, and the bear was right here. The trail that I came up, right here. He was standing right at that trail. The other trail would have went right through him. So he was standing on the trail at the rocks right next to me. We couldn't back up from where we were. We had to get him out of the way so we could get out of the way for the bear. Now, it was quite obvious to me this bear had definitely been fed and had human food before and has associated with human food of some sort. That's my guess. That's my guesstimate, I guess, of what's going on here. But the other reason it's really odd is because there is actually a bear hunting shack, a bear hunting club, just a couple miles down that same trail. You don't normally see bear where they hunt for bear. So that seemed odd that he was there, for sure. So it broke my heart a little bit because this poor bear is like, number one, are you sure you just don't want to be friends? That was the look he was giving. Like, are you sure, Fortune, we could just be friends and run off in the woods and then be like soulmates and walking through the forest and the mountains? Like I said, it's my spirit animal, so I think of it like this, even though I know that's what he's doing. There was a couple times he'd put his ears back, but he was never aggressive, never showed a sign of going to attack or feeling threatened or anything like that. I definitely kept a good eye on it. And then the second clip here, what that is basically the bear had kind of shifted over to the left side of the rocks, the other side of the rocks, and started messing with the backpack or smelling around the backpack of one of these two ladies, a very small day pack. And if you can hear that sound on this video, we're all three yelling, "Go, Henry, you gotta go, you can't be here, you gotta go, whoa, go away," doing whatever sounds we need to do. Finally, it moved. Finally, it took off into the little set of trees, and at that time, like, phew, that was good. It was a stubborn bear, and it wasn't a few seconds. He went through the trees, came back around on the trail, and started walking right back towards us again to do it all over again. Like, hold on, I don't want to leave. Why am I leaving? I don't want to leave. I want to see what these guys have for food for me. Again, no aggression. At one point, though, he was probably 2 feet from me. Maybe 1.5 feet. And one thing you don't do what I did. You never want to look bears in the eye, or any wild animal for that. They can take that as a challenge. I couldn't help it. Again, it's almost a spiritual thing for me. I look deep into those eyes of that bear as it's right there staring at me. And it wasn't getting aggressive or anything, and I knew I needed to stop doing that. But it's one of those things, kind of where you get in a trance, and you like, I need to stop. I need to shake my head or something to get out of this trance. I was kind of doing that in my head. Finally, I looked away, and everything was good. But basically, we went through this process two more times. Coming back, circling around. And at one point, I could tell he got interested in my backpack. He was still far enough away, so I picked my backpack up. I didn't want to leave it on the ground. Not the smartest thing once again, but again, I had my trekking poles in my hand, ready if something was to happen or if he charged or anything. One thing you got to know about black bears, they're not really that aggressive. They can be aggressive, especially if they've been taught to eat from humans. That's not a good thing, because then they associate humans with food, and if humans don't have food and they're hungry, that could be bad. The other thing is a mother and her cubs. You never want to come between that. I think this was an older juvenile, like a teenager, probably a couple 100 to 300 pounds, wasn't real big. It was healthy, it was hefty, but it was shorter, so it wasn't a real huge, but it was still a big bear, compared to a juvenile. But I think that would just cause a lot of inquisitiveness of this bear, wanting to see what was going on. The other thing is it's a rock. So a lot of people, when they go up there to summit, they'll sit down there and they'll take a break, they'll eat some food. So it's probably found food there at the rock before and kind of associates to that place. So it just hangs around there, seeing if anybody else is going to have any food. At the end of the day, it all ended well. After that third time, it stayed away long enough to where we could back down the trail, keep our eye on It started to walk towards us and then decided to just stay up at the summit. And then we was able to go down. And of course, I wanted to make sure that those two ladies that I was going down with, there's safety in numbers, and just in case that bear decided to come down the trail after us, we wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure that, you know, we were safe and so forth. So we're keeping our eye on that and not turning our back to Mr. or Mrs. Henry. It was a great time. I've been around a lot of bear in my life. Never been afraid. Not even the first time I've seen one, even though I thought I would be. That's when I really knew they were my spirit animal. We connected in almost a supernatural or spiritual way. It was a great experience, and one that I've always wanted, to be honest, and to be that close to a bear and just be able to look at it for what it is. And it was I'm blessed to have been in that moment. In my birthday month, when I turned 50, I've now seen 7 bear in the last 9 days, technically in the last 5 days, but the first 9 days of my birthday month, 7 bears. I'm pretty happy and pretty stoked about that. I think it's going to be a great year this year. I have a couple great through hikes coming up, and I expect a lot more Henrys out there, to be honest, this year. A couple things to keep in mind for those who are not aware. Again, don't look dead stare a bear in the face. It's not going to be good. Even when I say I did it, I still looked away after, you know, a short time. But I couldn't. It was tough for a couple seconds to look away. You don't want to like do that. That's never a good thing, because they could take that as you're bluffing them or you're charging them. Never feed them, ever. Never ever feed, not just a Henry, any wild animal. Because then they lose their wildness and they associate you with food, and then you almost become prey to them at that point. Never do that. Enjoy nature. Don't ever think it's your pets. Don't treat them like pets. Don't try to pet them. Don't try to touch them. Don't try to walk closer to them. There was never one point with this bear that I walked towards it. I took steps back until there was no steps to take back, and then, you know, pounding some poles together, you know, making some noise, obviously yelling, you know, raising your voice in a deep manner, you know, a human manner. Don't growl. That's the other thing. Don't do that. Don't growl. Use your human voice to scare them off, because that, at the end of the day, they need to know that they need to be scared of humans so they don't associate with food. And there's a lot more tips and suggestions, you know, for a bear, but those are the main ones I want to leave you with right now. Never run. They'll chase if you run. Don't turn your back on them. That's not good. Don't play dead with a black bear. That's a grizzly bear. And I'll leave you with that right now. Basically, at the end of the day, respect them, respect their space. Probably the numero uno thing, which I did with this Henry in this video, or this day in these videos that you just seen. And that is always leave Henry and all wild animals an escape, a way to get out. Don't block them. Don't corner them. It's not going to be a good ending. I hope you enjoyed seeing the videos and hearing the story. It was a great and glorious and supernatural and spiritual day. And I'm so blessed that I got to meet number 7. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, remember, live life.